Hello and welcome to our session today on the Cal Imperfect Strong Verbs. Now, as you know, we have learned so far two conjugations. We have learned the perfect and the imperfect. Now, the perfect verb, as in katal, gives us completed action. He killed. Whereas the imperfect, is incomplete action, as in yektal, he will kill. Now, the imperfect can represent present, past, or future tense. But right now, for our particular purposes, we're going to look at it as just the future tense. So when you have the cal imperfect verb, you will translate it in the future. He will, she will, they will. And not worry about any of the others at this point in our studies. Also, another thing that will help you is that as a part of your required readings or your required text, I had you get what I call translation or parsing aids or helps or tools. And it's going to look like this. Yours is going to be laminated, but you can now take this with you into your quizzes. And as you can see, you've got the Cal paradigms here. Now, this is not going to negate your need to memorize your paradigms. All this is going to do is take a little bit of pressure off and allow you to kind of check and see if what you're doing is on task. As far as memorization goes, you will need to memorize all of your Cal paradigms. You'll need to know your Cal perfect paradigm. You'll need to know your Cal imperfect paradigm, and then as we progress and do the imperative and other paradigms, you'll need to know those as well for the Cal, because over 70% of all Hebrew verbs in the Masoretic text or the Hebrew Bible are Cals. And so if you have your Cal verb paradigms memorized and you're very familiar with those, then you've got 70% of your verbs that you can just translate and knock down. Now, when we come to other stems and conjugations, we're not going to be concerned about you memorizing those, because I'll allow you to take your translation or parsing aid with you. Now, this is the only thing that you can have with you when you take a quiz. You can't have your textbook or any other sheets or anything like that, just this. And if for whatever reason you do not have this, it's a part of your required text, but if for some reason you do not have this, let me know and I will try to send you through email a copy of what I have. Now, the Cal Imperfect Strong, some things that you need to know about the Cal Imperfect Strong are this. The imperfect conjugation is used to express an incomplete action, whether in the past, the present, or in the future. The imperfect conjugation is sometimes called the prefix conjugation because different inflectional prefixes or performatives are added to your verbal stems in order to indicate person, gender, and number. So this is often called the prefix stem, because your stem is going to be prefixed or have a performative, something that occurs at the beginning, that's going to allow you to know the gender, the number, and the person. Also, imperfect verbs can be translated by the English future tense or present tense. But again, for this point in our class, I only want you to translate it in the future tense. He will, she will, we will, I will, they will. And that should help out a great deal. Now, here is the parsing, and this is also going to be in your textbook. But as you can see, I have up here at the top in big letters, memorize this. You should know this almost in a robotic type of fashion. Now, let me double check and find out what page this is on in your book. It's going to be the Cal Imperfect Strong paradigm, and it's on page 167 or 15.3 in your book. And I'll just hold this up here. It's going to kind of be hard to see all of them, but you can follow along in your book. We need to pronounce these. Start at the top and go down. Yiktal, tiktal, tiktal, tiktali, ektal, yiktalu, tiktolna, tiktalu, tiktolna, niktal. Now, as you can see, every imperfect form has a prefix or a subformative. And there are 5 forms that take a suffix or a sufformative. Now, they all have performatives, and 5 of them have sufformatives or suffixes. And you can see that in the red here. I'm sorry, this thing's kind of driving me crazy. It's focusing back and forth on me here. But you can see the sufformatives here. It's the 2FS, the 3MP, the 3FP, the 2MP, and the 2FP. And these sufformatives are going to be what's on the end. They're right here. And these 5 sufformatives are going to be suffixing your cal imperfect strong. But again, let's go over this, and you say these with me. Start at the top. Yiktol, tiktol, tiktol, tiktali, ektol, yiktalu, tiktolna, tiktalu, tiktolna, niktol. And you'll need to be able to say those rapidly and to be very familiar with those. You'll need to have them memorized robotically. And if you want to, in YouTube, if you just put in the search bar, cal imperfect strong verbs, someone has actually come up with a crazy song that will help you get down a little bit of the cadence of this. But going on with our cal imperfect strong, as you can see here, this diagnosis, the following graph identifies the performative and stem vowel that are diagnostic for most forms of the cal imperfect strong verb. In the cal strong verb, all performative consonants have heroic except the first common singular, which has a sagol, and the stem vowel is holum except for those forms that have sufformatives that consist of a vowel, 2FS, 3MP, and 2MP. In these forms, the holum stem vowel reduces to a vocal schwa. 2 sets of forms are identical in the imperfect paradigm. In each case, context is going to be your guiding, directing force in giving a correct translation. Tiktol, both 3FS and 2MS, she will kill or you will kill. Same identical word, but it will have to be context that lets you know whether it's she will kill or you will kill. Now, for translation purposes right now, I'm going to ask you to give me both, or to, if you give me the third feminine singular, to put in parentheses also can be translated in the 2MS, just so I know that you know this. And then we have tiktolne. Both 3FP and 2FP, they will kill or you will kill. Same identical spelling, same identical word, and it's going to be context that will help you to determine which of how you're going to translate this. But for right now, you'll need to give me both the 3FP and the 2FP, just so that I know that you know what's going on here. Well, I'm going to stop here so I don't overextend YouTube again, and I'll pick right back up in a moment. See you on the next one.